So again, you'll need a block, maybe a yoga strap, maybe, and perhaps a lighter dumbbell or kettlebell will work too. And we are going to start lying on our side. And you can use the block for your head, or you can use the block for your knees. So two choices. The bottom leg is going to be straight. The top leg is going to be bent, knee resting on the floor or knee resting on the block. The arm closest to the ground is going to be straight out in front of you. And we're going to take the top arm, lift the rib cage off the floor, grab it and kind of tug it forward slightly. You can kind of allow your shoulder to glide in the direction of your wrist. And if it's more comfortable for you to close your eyes to check in with your breath, you close your eyes. And with your hands still on the side, bottom of your rib cage, just to breathe normal. To a little breath. Sensation of the ribs expanding into your ribs. And if you don't force it. In other words, don't try to fully expand the ribs out, but take your awareness deeper into your lungs. Begin to visualize as you inhale that you are filling the bottom of your lungs with your breath like you would fill a glass of water. So feeling the bottom lobes fill up first and then feel it fill. The exhalations be long, even adding a slight pause. In your next exhalation, use your hands to kind of roll your rib cage towards the floor behind you a little bit. So each inhale, notice that the ribs expand. That awareness of filling the lungs with breath from bottom up. And with each exhalation, maybe roll the ribs a little further towards the floor. Your top hip is stacked on top of your bottom hip, and the knee is resting either on the floor or on the block. Take one more exhale, finding that final point of rotation in your spine. Let your head rest in a comfortable position. So if it opens up and looks up towards the sky, great. If not, just let it be somewhere where it's comfortable. And then lift your top arm so that your wrist is directly over your shoulder. Look up at your thumb and turn your thumb about 45 degrees out from your eye. The direction that the thumb is now pointing, so look at it, you're going to reach your entire arm that direction. The palm points straight down towards the floor and reach the fingers long, and then lift your bottom arm up so that the fingers are stretching towards the sky. You take 3 breaths in this position. The entire time you're reaching strong through your arms, so you're not collapsing into your shoulders. You're actually holding your shoulders steady by reaching through your fingertips. One more breath. Release your bottom arm back down to the ground and stack your other arm on top of it. going to start to make semicircles. So top hand, fingertips to the floor, let them tent. And you're going to create a semicircle over your head. When the arm comes behind you, the elbow can bend, but the fingernails flip. So when you bring the arm forward, the tips of the fingernails are on the floor. When you trace the arc over your head, the palm flips up and the fingernails go out. Do that semicircle 2 more times. All the while, you're keeping your knee either on the block or on the floor. This next time, we're going to make a full circle. So keep the fingernails on the floor as long as you can until your hand has to come up onto your hip and down your thigh to the right. Back to the starting position. So making 2 more full circles like this. And feeling the shoulder blade kind of paint that circle around your rib cage. And then switch directions for your thighs. So it goes up your thigh, over your hip on the floor, palm up. When it comes over your head, palm tucks down. And feeling that connection between the ability to rotate in the spine and the shoulder blades to move all the way over. You're going to do the other side. I am going to just flip around and face you from the back so that you can see what all of this looks like from the back side. So straighten the bottom leg, line from hip to heel and hip to shoulder. Top knee comes forward and rests either on the floor or on the block out. Stretch the bottom arm forward and then take your top arm, reach across, grab your rib cage. Start first by taking 3 breaths. Another way to possibly bring awareness to filling the lungs from the bottom up is to imagine that you're breathing through your ribs like a fish would breathe with its gills. It's light and easy. Your next exhale, use your hand to kind of pull your rib cage towards the floor line, causing when you feel resistance. Take a few breaths here. And each consecutive exhale, if you're able to rotate a little further, so bring the rib cage closer to the floor, allow that to happen. And notice I'm not dipping my elbow back because that makes the work shoulder blade. We want more of that awareness in the spine. So I'm keeping my hand on the bottom side of my rib cage. Go ahead and reach that top hand up so that your wrist is over your shoulder. Look up at your thumb and turn your thumb out away from your head. Look at the direction that your thumb is pointing. So it's about 45 degrees away from your head. And reach your arm in that direction. And notice I'm not collapsing. I'm trying to keep it strong and almost as if my shoulders lifting or gliding up my rib cage. I'm reaching through my fingertips, thumb points down, and then other arm reaches straight up towards the sky. And take 3 breaths here. This is active. So this is not a passive stretch. We're not going as far as we can and falling into it. We are pressing our fingers either up towards the sky or the wall, out towards that angle, in order to actively rotate your spine a little bit more and hold with strength rather than stretch. Release the bottom arm down, release the top arm on top of it. Let's start with a semicircle. So fingertips Raise the floor, come over your head. You can bend the elbow behind you, the fingernails, palm faces up. We start with just those 3 semicircles, warming the shoulder up to movement, warming the spine up, breath, movement. Finding an inhale as you close your circle and exhale as you open. And then this time, complete the circle. So fingernails continue to graze as they come towards the hip. As they come up on the hip, palm flips down. And then fingernails or fingertips graze out in front of you. Over the head, the palm flips. And one more time in this direction. Feeling a sense of ease, so we're not trying to over control this. We're actually trying to kind of move into the movement. And then go the opposite direction. So don't worry about if this is right or wrong. Think of this as a somatic practice, and you're experiencing the movement within your body and how it feels to move with a sense of ease and no. Last time for then go ahead and roll onto that. You can move the block out of the way. Bring your arms out from your body, teach the body, and I think maybe facing this direction will probably be most helpful at this point. We're going to lift both of our knees over our hips, ankles flexed, heels closer together, knees out slightly. So favoring external rotation just a little bit so that the hip joints can be more flexed. And take a breath in. As you exhale, let both of your legs drop to the right. About halfway. On your next exhale, your legs go to the left. So we're going side to side. So with each exhale, kind of at your own pace, feel the pelvis, the whole pelvis shift to take the lower body only side to side. As you go to one side, resist the opposite side of that rib cage down towards the. And next time you rotate to the right, stay to the right. Lift your left arm up towards the sky, fingers reaching up. Tuck your chin towards your right armpit and lift your left side of your body off the hip. Roll the left side of your body back down, arm back down. Come to center. We're going to go to the side five times total. So legs first. Lift left arm up. Tuck your chin towards your right armpit and rotate your shoulder, left shoulder up. Roll back down, arm down, legs. Again, to the right, stop the pelvis, left arm reaches up, tuck chin, rotate. Roll back down, down. Last time, take legs, reach arm, tuck chin, lift, and then you lift your right arm and pull. The arms off the ground, releasing your core to stabilize in this kind of side shifted position. Take your right leg out in front, left leg behind you, and roll up onto your left. Shift directions. So you're in this kind of position here. Take this left arm straight up towards the sky and thread the needle, reaching it underneath your right rib cage. Rotate up, gaze out. Twist again. And rotate up. And twist again. And rotate up. Twist again. Rotate up. Make sure that your elbow is underneath your right shoulder keep your legs in this position and lift your hips off the ground. Left arm up, rotate the entire chest towards the floor, and then rotate back up. So 4 more times like this. So the hips stay off the floor as we reach the left arm under the right rib cage, squaring our chest towards our right. Last time. Lower the hips down. Come to sit. We're in a shin box, so left knee is inside of your right foot. Bring your hands out in front of you. Crawl forward. Turn your right knee back. Center. And then step your right foot forward. Bring both arms over your head. Palms face forward, a little shoulder work. As you exhale, glide your elbows down towards your hips. Feel the shoulder blades. Squeeze in. And then reach up, palms face up. So think Y at the top, and as if you're making a W as you draw it down. Good. 2 more times like that. So feel the shoulder blades gliding up and down your back. And then the next time, twist. So left hand comes outside of the right knee. The right hand reaches straight back behind you. Gaze towards your thumb and make a fist. Turn the fist. So try to isolate the movement first, just to your wrist. So can you just twist from your lower arm? See how far you can make your fingers face behind you, and then how far up you can turn them towards the sky. And then allow it to come up into your shoulder joint. Allow the shoulder blade to roll forward and roll back. So feeling that rounding of the head of the shoulder forward and back. And then keep the shoulder blade still and try to move the joint, the ball in that socket. Good. Bring the arm back down beside your hip. Roll it forward. Bring it up towards your ear. Back of the palm faces forward. So fine, just a couple of more arm circles. So we've also been holding a twist this whole time. So next time, reach the hand back. Use your left hand to push you a little bit more into the twist. And then can you hold the twist? So reach left arm forward, right arm reaches towards the back wall. Good. Bring both hands down to the floor inside of your right foot. Step back into a plank position with your feet about hip distance apart. Push the floor away and drop your heels to the right and left. So again, we're moving just more or less the lower body, keeping the upper body really stable by pushing through both hands evenly. Come to both toes and lift the right leg off the ground. Drop both knees down to the ground and lower down onto your belly. Stack your forehead on your stacked hands. Bend your right knee. Point the toe up towards the side. Reach the right foot towards the left side and roll back. 2 more times like that. Reach and tap the right foot off to the left side of the knee. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders. Press up through hands and knees and sit back in chest. Come forward. The tabletop, cross your ankles. Bring your feet out in front of you And roll back down onto your spine. And lift your knees back over your hips. Arms out from your body, to the body. Knees out slightly, heels in. So find that slight external rotation, neutral spine. Go side to side a couple of times. So first to the left, then to the right. You start to feel that sense of the pelvis moving as one block of cement. And the rib cage from the opposite side is rocking towards the floor to help keep the upper body still. It'll lift a little bit, but you're resisting it down. The next time you roll to the left, keep the legs to the left, reach the right arm up towards the sky, lift the chin towards your armpit, gaze, roll back down, arm down, legs to center. Rock the legs as far to the left as you can sustain, pelvis in that block, right arm lifts up, lift chest, roll towards the floor, roll back down, legs come. Legs first, reach right arm, lift chest, gaze towards left armpit, roll back down. One more time. Roll, legs, stack pelvis, lift arm, lift head, chest, then lift your left arm off the ground, and a side, awkward thing. Arm comes back down, the right leg goes back, left leg goes forward, you're gonna roll up, the elbow prop position. Right arm up towards the sky, let's twist, reach right arm under left rib cage, and then rotate. So keep doing this on your own, noticing how the legs in this position help to keep your lower body kind of locked in a still position so that you can feel more of that rotation coming from your rotate up, make sure your shoulder, elbows underneath your shoulders, keep your legs in this position, lift the hips off the ground, right arm comes up, this time we rotate the whole chest. And up. So we're going to progress this as you go throughout this today. So just kind of note that this is the first two steps here. So you always have the option to return to this, but lower the hips. Knee side of left knee. Lean forward, come up onto both knees, and then flip that left foot back. So now you're up on your right knee. We're going to do something different with the shoulders this side. So elbows in line with your shoulders. Make fists with your hands. Try to keep your elbows where they are. Rotate the forearms down. Also, look at the head of your shoulders. So we don't want to round to feel like we're going further. We want to keep the rotation just in the shoulder joint. We don't want the shoulder blades to move. Good. Both arms up, twist to the left. So right hand comes outside of left knee. Left arm comes behind you, make a fist. First move just your lower arm. So see how much rotation you can get in just your lower arm. And then see if you can include your shoulder blade in that. So actively roll the head of the shoulder forward and back. So notice what it feels like to have that assistance and then keep the shoulder blade quiet and just move the arm, that ball and socket joint without the head of the shoulder. Good. Turn the fist to face off to the right. Bring the arm to your side, bring it forward. When it comes over to your head, turn the fist the opposite way. And go back. Switch directions. And then we're still in that twisted position, which I did come out of. But use your right hand to twist yourself a little bit. Keep the pelvis steady. Reach the left arm up, back, reach the right arm forward. So can you actively reach even more through those back fingers to encourage active rotation in your thoracic spine? Both hands down inside your left foot. Step back to plank. Feet wider than hips. Keep your upper body still as you take your heels to the right, to the left. So the pelvis rocks. The rib cage does not rock. Find stillness in the center and lift just your left. Lower both knees to the ground. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Stack your hands, opposite hand on top. Bend your left knee. Lift your left knee off the floor. Reach your left foot towards the right side of your mat. Rock out in and out of that. A few more. Bring your hands under your shoulders, cross up to hands and knees, and glide your hips back towards your heels. Resting toes. And come up to hands and knees. So we're going to progress each time what we did and add in a little bit more. So for this round, if you have a strap, we're going to use the strap. If you don't, you can do all of this without the strap. We're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to start to work on get up. So straighten your left leg and your left arm to the ground. Keep your right knee bent and take your right arm straight above your right shoulder. We're going to do what we did the last time at the end of our roll up. But this time you're going to lift all the way up onto your left. So if you want to watch first, you can. Tucking my chin, looking towards my left elbow, left armpit. To and then I'm going to roll. So fist towards the sky, think of punching straight up. Tuck your chin towards your left collarbone. Rotate your chest towards it. Roll back. Punch and twist. Roll back down. So your right hip may lift off the floor slightly, but you're trying to get the rotation more from your thoracic spine. So each time you come to your elbow, rotate your chest toward your left forearm. One more time, come up, switch. And then we're going to come into that side sit again. So bring your right knee inside of your left foot. This time as you lift up, you're also going to lift your right leg. So you're going to come up and then twist. And come back. So lift, stagger your right knee over, rotate your rib cage towards the floor, rotate back up, sit back. Okay. Lift up, rotate. You can always go back to what we did before. You can also just stack your right knee on top of your left and find that side plank rotation. So whichever of these options works best for you. We'll do 2 more. And on this final one, you're going to take that top leg forward, step it to the ground, and come up into half knee. So just let it swing out in front of you so your right leg is forward. We're going to take the strap. So take your strap wide. Hands are wider than shoulder distance apart, straight out in front of you. If you don't have a band, just bring the arms out in front. We're going to rotate up and down. So you can touch the knee at the bottom. And eventually you'll bring your arms behind you to get that full rotation in the shoulder. And if you don't have a band, just think of making your fists really strong and your elbows really straight. And trying to take the arms as far back behind you to get that full rotation of your shoulder blades and your shoulder blades. So bring the arms up. And then we're going to do the W. So if you have a strap that goes behind your back, otherwise just think cactus. And as you're doing this, you're feeling your shoulder blades kind of paint up and down on your back. One more. Good. You can get rid of the bands. I'm going to move to this angle so you can see what's coming next. We'll do 1 twist. So you're going to twist to the right. Up. Hinge forward. Take your right leg back into tabletop with your right leg straight. Left arm is going to rotate. So you're going to row as you come back. And then you're going to rotate through to thread the needle. So rotate the elbow, pulls back. Rotate. So as you're doing this, try to limit how much the pelvis moves. And if you can keep the pelvis relatively still, you can try another challenge, which is to lift the right leg. Keep the pelvis still as you continue to roll to or twist open and punch under to twist this. Both hands down, step the right leg back through, tuck the left toes under, and come up to warrior 2. Arms out. Side bend, bring your right elbow to your right knee. Reach your left hand towards the ground, and then same thing. Rotate. Pull it back through. Bring the fist towards the foot. Rotate. Keeping the pelvis as still as you can, feeling more of that movement in the rib cage or the thoracic side. Rotate all the way up, lift the arm. Grab something from the sky, lift up and out of that. Turn towards your front foot. Step your left leg out slightly. So pyramid pose. Right leg stays straight. We're going to slowly start to go down towards your right foot. So both arms reach only as far as you can twist open. Rotate close, go a little deeper, and twist open. Go a little deeper, twist open, go a little deeper, twist open. Left hand reaches out, right hand reaches towards your right foot. Bend the right knee. Both hands frame to your right foot. Step back to plank. Feet wide. Just 2 times to each side. Plank. Lift your right leg. Come onto your left fingertips. Maybe reach your left arm forward. Both hands to the ground. Elbows reach back. Lower all the way to the ground. Forehead to the ground. Stretch your arms beside your ears. Making the letter V with your arms. Keep your forehead on the ground. Thumbs point straight up. Lift your arms off the ground. Bring them down. Take them out to the side, T to the body. Thumbs still point up. Lift them up. Take them down. Bring the hands beside your hips. Thumbs point down. Lift the arms up. Reach them back. Lift the head. Lift the chest. Arms out to the side. Thumbs point up. Arms by your ears, V. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press up through hands and knees. Sit back. And jaw twist. Shift forward on your hands. Cross your ankles. Sit your hips back. Bring your legs out in front of you. Arms out in front of you. Reach both arms up. Without moving your sit bones, twist both to the right. Reach the arms up. And twist to the left. Did I lose you all? You're both frozen. Lift up. Twist. Lift up. Twist. Up. Twist. Last time. Back. Good. And back to center. And slowly roll you back down onto the ground. So same thing, second side. So left knee stays bent. Right leg straight. Right arm down to the ground, about 45 degrees away from your hip. Left fist punching up towards the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, tuck your chin towards your right armpit and lift up onto your right elbow. Twist your chest towards your right knee. Tendency to try to lift your left hip off the floor. At the top, it will come off the floor so that you can rotate your chest towards your hand. But think of initiating the movement more from your right or your left rib cage, as if it's making an X towards your right hip. Let's do 3 more. Each time, finding that rotation of your chest toward your right forearm. This time, hold. And we're going to come into that side set. So bend your right knee and drop your left knee to the floor behind it. Hand is up. Options here. The first option is to just stack the knee on top. Lift the hips and then rotate the chest and bring the knee back behind. Other option is to lift and cover the leg as you rotate the chest and then come back to that side set. You know, between 7 and 10 of these, you know, at your own pace. Finding that rotation each time And that stability in your lower shoulder. Last time. And simply step that top leg out in front of you, come into the half moon position. So if you have the band again, grab the band. If you don't, just interlace your fingers behind your back. So you can make a bind or you can use the band. So if you have the band, grip it with your palms facing backwards. Pull the band apart and lift your arms as far from your hips as you can. Lower it down. We're just going back, pull down. Keep the wrists locked out. And grip the belt tight. So Lisa, see how I have my palms up behind and I'm grabbing the belt close. I'm working extension in the shoulders. With the shoulders in somewhat internal rotation, better. Okay. Go forward and just lean and hold. Keep the arms where they are, release the belt if you have it. If you have a bind, release the belt. Stretch the fingers back, so now actively holding. Good, sweep the arms up. One twist to the left. And go forward. Tuck your back toes under. And lift up into that warrior two. Left arm, oh, we forgot something, we'll get it at the end. Left elbow to your left knee. Reach the chest and the hand, right hand towards the floor. And then as if you're pulling back a lawnmower, rotate the chest towards the floor. Pull back in there. So all the while, we're trying to keep everything from our hips down still. And we're trying to rotate the rib cage in both directions as much as possible. We've got that shoulder blade movement with the row. So protraction, retraction. Good. Rise all the way up. Turn to face your left leg. Step your right foot out slightly so that your hips are squared. Bring both arms out in front of you. Hinge slightly, and then row open. Good. Go a little deeper, row open. Reach a little deeper. You can always use the block for your hands to get more of that stillness in your left arm so that you're rotating more. Good. Bring both hands stacked on either side of your left foot. Bring the left knee back and straight behind you. So same arm, right arm, reach it under, row to open. Reach it under, row to open. And then the option is to lift the left leg as long as you can keep the pelvis steady. So both hips square towards the floor. This is your little rib cage, open and closed. Good. Both hands to the ground, step back to plank. Feet wide, dip both sides. Steady in the center, lift your left leg. Come on to your right fingertips. Maybe lift your right arm forward. Both hands to the ground. Chaturanga all the way to the front. Forehead to the ground. Make that Y or V with your arms. Thumbs pointing up. We're going to go full circle this time. So keep your forehead on the floor. And if you want to watch this, you can watch it. You're going to lift both arms. Keep them lifted as you make that full semicircle. Palms turn up at the back. Cross your hands and then go the opposite direction. So you have to get that key point. Flip the turn of your hands. So when you bring the hands behind your back, your palms face up. And then when you bring the palms beside your ears, palms face in. One more full rotation like that. Bring both hands beside your shoulders. Press up through hands and knees and sit back in the chest. Lift up halfway and walk your hands off to the right. Your side body stretch. Reach your right sit bone towards your right toes. Breathe deep into your lungs. Lift up, walk all the way off to the left. Back to center. This time we're going to do similar, but if you have a dumbbell, we're going to do this with a dumbbell. If you don't, we are just going to focus a little bit more on shoulder rotation this round. So I would suggest making a really tight fist and trying to keep this part of your wrist flat. So there's a tendency to move into extension or flexion. So really concentrate on really making a tight fist and keeping the back of your wrist flat and your elbow straight. That will help to move rotation in your shoulder even without the dumbbell. So we're going to start in the same position that we did the last time. If you are using a weight, you still want that flat. A kettlebell actually works better. But knuckles face straight up towards this guy. So look at the back of your wrist, make sure that's nice and flat. And grip either your fist tight or the dumbbell tight. Elbow straight. Right knee stays bent. Left leg is straight down. And left arm is straight out to the side, to the bottom. We're going to lift the right foot off the ground. So this is called an arm bar. We're going to rotate the right knee towards the floor. And as you roll onto your side, you're going to punch your fist straight up to the sky. And then roll back. So the knee pulls you into a roll. As you stack your shoulders and you lift the fist towards the sky. Let's do that 2 more times, just like that. And then stay this time. Turn your head and look up at your knuckle. And you're going to rotate your whole arm as much as you can. So in this, we're not moving the shoulder blade. We're just trying to rotate that ball inside the socket. Look for when you try to go into wrist extension. So sometimes I think that I'm trying to screw my knuckles into the ceiling. So that gives me that kind of lift out. And it stabilizes the shoulder joint all the way from the wrist. Find the fingers facing your right knee and roll back up to your back. Make sure the knuckle or the wrist is flat. Drop the right foot down to the ground. You're going to take your left leg out slightly, and your left arm is now down to T to the body. So we're going to come into that elbow prop that we did before. So knuckles up towards the sky, rotate and twist towards your left wrist. We're going to do that 3 more times, or 4 more times, so 5 total. On your last one, stay in that position. First, look down at your left forearm. Turn your chest to face your left wrist. And then you're just going to move your neck. So knuckles to the sky. Draw a line with your nose to look up at your fist, and then to look down at your left wrist. So we're staying steady and strong in that right arm as we just move the neck by tracing a line with our knees. Continue to look up. Now, just turn the right arm. We're turning deep inside the shoulder joint. We're screwing the knuckles in the sky. We're going to lift up onto our left knee. And press our right knee out over our right toes and swing the left leg back underneath. Come to half kneeling. So from this half kneeling position, we're going to go into some windmills. So again, if you don't have a weight, that's fine. But if you do, regardless, lift the arm straight up. You're going to turn and look up at your right hand as you tap the floor with your left hand. And come back up, square forward. Twist chest towards right hand. Knuckle turns away from you. Fist faces in at the top. So you're letting your right shoulder roll. As you tap down, it rotates open. And as you tap up, it rotates close. Good. Bring the fist to your chest. Tuck the back toes under. We're going to come up into that warrior 2. So back toes tuck under. And then lift up. We're going to switch the hand that we had the weight in. So right elbow on your right knee. This time we have a weight. So we're doing a row. We're going to turn our chest towards our right foot. We're first going to row. Once the elbow's up, then we're going to twist the chest open. Twist the chest back towards the foot. Release the fist towards the floor. First row. So squeeze the shoulder blade towards your spine. Once the elbow's lifted and in, rotate the chest open. Rotate back down. Good. Keep it up. Remember, there's several different movements. So we're getting shoulder blade moving first, and then we're rotating the spine. Let's do one more. Release the weight towards the floor. Stand up. Come into that Parsvattanasana position. We're going back to weight in your right arm. So slightly different on this side or this round. Both hands go towards the floor. Then row with the right elbow and twist at the same time. Come all the way back up. Hinge towards your right foot. Row. Elbow goes back. Spine twist like you're trying to meet your fist or your weight with your chest. 2 more. Last one. Bend the right knee. Keep your weight in your right hand, come to plank. And row with that right arm in plank 5 times. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift your left leg as you row with the right. Okay. Drop the weight off. All the way down towards the ground, so onto your belly. Bring your shoulders or elbows underneath your shoulders. Stretch your chest forward. Lift your belly up like that. Lower all the way back down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press up. Sit back, side pose. All right, last side. So come to lie on your back. Weight in your left hand. Right leg straight to the ground, left knee reaches up. Right hand out to the side, to the body, arm lower. So left knee goes over, that rocks you onto your right side. Roll. Let's pick. Roll. Okay. Last time, stay. Make sure your wrist is nice and flat. And twist. Feeling that rotation in the joint. Trying to resist the shoulder lifting up towards your ear. Trying to keep it mainly in the joint. Keep the weight where it is. Roll back onto your back. Keep your left knee bent, but bring the foot to the ground. Right leg and arm are about 45 degrees away from your midline. Wrist is flat. Tuck chin towards right armpit. Elbow prop, twist chest towards the floor. Each time getting that little extra twist of your upper chest towards the ground. Trying to keep the left hip as close to the floor as you can. It will lift, but you're resisting it down. Good. Stay up. Trace that line with your nose towards your right wrist to your left wrist. So instead of reaching the chin forward, think of reaching with your nose. Good. Continue to look up and then twist in the arm bone, in the shoulder blade. Wrist is flat, gripping hard, elbows super strong, steady, stable. Good. Knuckles face in or fingernails face in, come up onto your right hand. Lift your hips and sweep your right leg underneath, come into that half kneeling pose. Yeah. You're gonna go into the windmill. So bring the hand back up. As you bring your right hand down to the ground, twist your chest and your nose to look up at your right hand. Fingernails face in at the top. They roll out as you roll down, as you tap down. Let's do a few more. Last one. Come on up. Bring it to your chest. You're going to come up into that warrior two and switch hands. Hinge into the side angle. Turn your chest towards your left foot. Reach your hand towards your left foot. Row first, then rotate the spine open. Roll back down, then reach the fist. row, twist, twist, punch, row, twist, twist, punch, 2 more. Bring the chest, bring the bow, hand to your chest, come back up, turn to face your front leg, step in. The right foot out slightly, switch back, weight into your left hand. Hinge forward, reach both hands towards your foot, and then rotate to the left. Back up. Hinge. Hinge. Row. Twist and row. Let's do one more. Okay. Bend the front knee. Come down in the plank position, continuing to hold the dumbbell if you have it in your left hand. Otherwise, just row. Just row. Maybe as you row, you try to lift the right leg. One more. Knees to the ground or lower down. Chaturanga. Come up into Sphinx pose. Stretch the chest forward. Lower the shoulder blades down. Think of rotating your heart to the right, and then heart to the left. Stack your hands, stack your forehead on your hands, and shift your hips side to side. So opting to either stay on your belly for 5 to 10 breaths, or to roll over onto your back for 5 to 10 breaths. Sometimes we're uncomfortable lying on your belly, and that's a good option to roll onto your back. But what I like about lying on the belly is the awareness of the back body moving with the breath. With all these twists and rotations and shoulder blade movements that we did throughout the practice, you may feel a bit more of an ease of movement throughout the back body. So if you're lying on your back, just become aware of how your back moves towards the ground as you breathe. And as you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself up into a seated position. This concludes the rotation and shoulder combo flow class. So hopefully that was fun.